Hi, 1025.
Hi, is this Bobby?
Is this Mary Chapin Carpenter?
It's Mary Chapin Carpenter.
So great to hear from you. Thanks for calling today.
It's my pleasure. How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to our lovely city. The sun is shining just for you today.
Well, it's a beautiful day, and I'm happy to be here.
We haven't had many of those, so you're here on a good one. We're looking forward to seeing you tonight at Kalamazoo State Theatre for the big show.
Yes, and I'm just glad I got here. My connection, I didn't make my connection in Detroit, and so we just rented a car and drove like mad, and now we're here. So all is well.
Good. Well, you're lucky to be out of Detroit. All is well then. You're right. Terrific.
No, it was fine.
Hey, people know you from a huge string of hit records, many songs that were big all over the radio. Down at the Twist and Shout, I Feel Lucky, He Thinks He'll Keep Her, I'll Take My Chances.
Mm-hmm.
What's your favorite? No, I can't ask you that, can I? Do people ask you that all the time?
Well, people, they don't ask me all the time, but every once in a while someone, does pose that question, and it's just impossible to answer for me. I mean, I take it quite seriously, and, you'll hear songwriters say this, and I totally get it. They'll say, my favorite song is the one I just finished writing, for example. And I completely relate to that, because sometimes they're very hard won. But that said, songs are just these things that you can't, for me, I'm just not able to say, oh, that's my favorite song. Just can't do it. I
gotcha. Well, and I think people may think that you stopped writing songs and kind of disappeared for a while, but that's not the case.
Well, I'm not sure why that would be the thought. I have been working steadily and recording for almost 30 years now, and so I never went anywhere.
Yeah, you've got an incredible career, and a lot of other people did your songs and did a great job with them. And I got to tell you, too, I love the stuff you did with Sean Colvin and Roseanne Cash. Beautiful. You three ladies together. Incredible.
That was a very special event. That was the 25th anniversary of, I think, Bob Dylan's recording career, and we did a great song of his called You Ain't Going Nowhere, and that was very exciting. And, I revere both of those artists.
Good. And lately you've been doing you did a symphony tour. How did that happen?
Well, I released an album last year called Songs from the Movie, which is 10 of my songs recorded for orchestral performances. And, it sounds like a bit of a cliche, but it really was a bucket list project. It's something that I've wanted to do for years. And it took a number of years to pull all the pieces of the puzzle together to do it. And it was released last January, and I spent most of last year touring with orchestras and playing around the world, and it's been a life-transforming project. I love it. Like, I can't even describe it. So it's one of the things that I feel like I can do for forever, really, and I feel very grateful for it.
It is great to hear you say that and to hear you talk about your career like that you're still doing stuff that excites you. It's fantastic.
Oh, gosh, I absolutely. I mean, otherwise, it's time to do something else if you can't feel that way about your job, and I know that every day that I get to wake up and head out and play for people or spend the day writing or whatever, I know how fortunate I am, and I just treasure these days, treasure them. There was a period of time a few years ago, I got sick and I couldn't work for a while. And, you go through something like that and it does change you. You feel somewhat altered. There's sort of a before and there's an after. And the after has been nothing short of extraordinary to me.
I can't wait to hear what you've been doing and to hear the music tonight at the State Theatre. And from what you've just said, here's what I want to ask you. What's next in the bucket list?
Well, as a matter of fact, next month I am heading into the studio to make new records, so I'm very excited about that. I've been working on the songs for a number of years now, and it takes me, on average, about 3 years to write a record, so that's what I've been doing and touring the whole time, and so I'm excited about that. So that should be out beginning of next year.
Terrific. And tonight we get the acoustic treatment of all the hits.
Well, it's actually... Well, it is an acoustic show. It's myself and two of my best mates, so it's quite different from the orchestral show. difference of about 70 people on stage. And but that said, we're definitely playing songs that are, I think would be familiar to people, but it's also an opportunity to, in the parlance of the industry, to sort of play deep cuts,
Sure.
Go beyond things that have been on the radio and pick and choose things that feel very special to me spiritually, and also lend themselves to a more stripped-down presentation, which I've always done, actually, whether I've been with the full band or by myself or whatever. I like being able to sort of change songs around and sort of excavate and see what's there beyond what people have already heard on a recording.
And I think you've just hit on it. That's what's so great about country music and about singer-songwriters is really what these songs are about, in that there's really a lot inside of each one of them.
Well, indeed. I mean, country music has such a tradition of story songs, and to me, that's what had always drawn me towards writers like Guy Clark and Rodney Crowell and Roseanne Cash, for that matter. And then, farther back, the beautiful songs of more traditional artists. So, I think that tradition is still upheld. As a songwriter myself, it's something that I've felt honored to be just a tiny part of, a little niche just in the corner, minding my own business, but happy to be there.
Oh, you are contributing a lot more than you're giving yourself credit for right now. So.
Well, you're very kind. Thanks, Bob.
You've got me excited about the show. Can't wait to see you tonight, 7 o'clock at Kalamazoo State Theatre. And thanks so much for taking the time to talk with us this afternoon.
Well, it's been my pleasure. Thanks for chatting with me.